like live videos when it pertains to the NBA, because those can be put together at any time, because basically the basketball season is 82 games. So it's plenty of time to get basketball videos out. It's really no rush. As in boxing is spare the moment, and it's one of them things. It's only for basically up until the fight, and then after the fight, then pretty much you move on to the next fight, or whenever the individual is fighting again that you're talking about. But Stephen A. Smith, I gotta tell you, that dude is like a consistent flip-flopper. This dude is just all over the place, and he is continuing to constantly keep harassing and instigating a feud between Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving. Still trying to blame Kyrie Irving for what's happening with Brooklyn. No, it's the city of New York's fault what's happening with Brooklyn, not Kyrie Irving. Kyrie Irving did not ask for, what happened to happen. Like, he created it. Now, that's a whole nother argument within itself, and a whole nother video within itself, which, by the way, I'm going to talk about that too. I'm going to talk about Dr. Falsely, not Fossey, Falsely. But nevertheless, let's get to basketball. Last night, the Brooklyn Nets got shellacked by the Golden State Warriors. What started off as a competitive game, the first half of, the game, basically turned into the Warriors putting the clamps and just basically having their way with the Nets after the second half. And, the Warriors ended up solidly winning that game, So now the question is, Kevin Durant should have stayed at Golden State. And that's what Stephen A. Smith is implying. But this is the same dude, when Kevin Durant decided to sign with the Golden State Warriors. Don't you remember? Oh, this was the weakest move I've ever seen by a superstar. He said it was weak. He sort of hinted that Kevin Durant was a coward, which that didn't make no kind of sense whatsoever. Now all of a sudden, he's saying he should have stayed at Golden State. But this was one of the dudes that was constantly complaining, saying that he didn't respect Kevin Durant. See, it just goes to show you how fake people are. And this is documented. I could put together a video where Stephen A. Smith was complaining about Kevin Durant along with a lot of other people. So now all of a sudden, Kevin Durant should have stayed at Golden State, and he shouldn't have went to Brooklyn to play with Kyrie Irving. He shouldn't have left Stephen Curry to go play with Kyrie Irving. But I remember that there was people saying that Kyrie Irving was better than Stephen Curry, and that Kevin Durant was better off playing with Kyrie Irving. You see how people flip-flop? Stephen A. Smith is just a paid hand to basically instigate and cause distraction and tension, animosity, vitriol, and even as far as hatred among black athletes. That's what he gets paid to do. That's what he's getting that $8 million for. He was exposed with the Aaron Rodgers situation. The man always got heat for the brothers, though. But then he wants to simmer down for the others. Kyrie Irving was completely honest about his stance. Didn't lie about it. But you had Aaron Rodgers who misled, at the very least misled, and said, well, yeah, I'm immunized, if that's what you want to call it. But now that Aaron Rodgers comes back and he wins in his return, really doesn't kind of apologize, which I don't care whether he does or not. It's like they're moving on. But you still have Stephen A. Smith talking about that Kevin Durant should feel betrayed and all this kind of. How did Kyrie Irving betray Kevin Durant? Because he wanted to have the right to decide what goes in his body. Now, like I said, once again, I cannot go into deep detail about the you know what. I can talk around it. I can't give no information. I have to protect my channel. But this man is a flip-flopper. This man made it look like this was the worst thing in the world when Kevin Durant went to Golden State. Now all of a sudden he's saying Kevin Durant should have stayed there. And you had a lot of these fake content creators regurgitating that same stuff by Stephen A. Smith. Spewing out that same BS by Stephen A. Smith. Nah, it's not Kyrie Irving's fault. No, it's the Brooklyn Nets organization and it's the city of New York. No, it's not Kyrie Irving's fault at all. Okay? Because you know why? Every other athlete is allowed to play, whether they took the potion or not. Bradley Beal, from my knowledge, hasn't still taken the potion. He's allowed to play. And it's a couple of other people. So this is on Brooklyn. This isn't on Kyrie Irving and saying that he need to, do it for the team. No, he ain't got to take nothing for the team. It's about his decision, and his decision should have been respected. And that was my whole stance, what I was trying to tell a lot of these other dummies on YouTube. But you had certain people coming at me about it. But what I did was I cut them off. I don't have to deal with them no more. That's what I did. I cut them off. I blocked them. Blocked them from my channel. Blocked their number. You not worth going back and forth with because you irrelevant. You got an issue with what I talk about in my stance and in my opinion? Well, guess what? Now you don't have to hear my opinion, bitch. That's what you do to certain people. And I'm not going to say the person's name because, like I said, I'm not giving them no free publicity. They can talk about me. Because at the end of the day, they fake anyway. Kyrie Irving have every right to feel the way he feels. He had every right to decide what's best for him. What's best for his body. It's funny how all the time, and this is what I'm talking about, all the time you hear people, and this is how fake the media is. All the time you hear these self-righteous ass media people. I don't pretend to know everything, even though I do media. Never said I did. But you have all these self-righteous media people hollering about, oh, all these athletes do is care about money. They don't care about nothing else. All they care about is money. Well, here's a guy, Kyrie Irving, and a few other people that was like, this isn't about money. This is about personal choices, about personal freedom. Like the mainstream, lamestream media is just fake all around. Just last year, when the whole George Floyd thing jumped off and other situations pertaining to political issues, systematic racism, all that kind of stuff. You had people debating, people like Jason, you know who, Jason Shitlock, and a couple of other people saying, well, I think that athletes shouldn't even have to talk about political issues. They should just play basketball. They had this whole issue about the so-called woke movement and all this kind of stuff and being conscious and all this stuff. And you had people saying, well, I don't think athletes should talk about political stuff. or they should not be allowed to talk about political stuff. You heard that whole situation. That was the whole topic of discussion. Should athletes be talking about political issues? Should they talk about stuff that's going on outside of the world? You had a lot of people saying that they shouldn't. But then now you got these people talking about, oh, these athletes have a responsibility to tell the public that they should go, get the potion. So now you want to pick and choose when athletes are supposed to have a so-called social responsibility. Then you want to say, and not being black, having the audacity to say that black athletes have an obligation to the black. No. Can't have it both ways. You say black athletes shouldn't talk about racism and police brutality and all that kind of stuff. They shouldn't be talking about that to the public, or they shouldn't be talking about that among the black community. But then you want these athletes to sit up there and tell black people what to do with their damn body. Oh, okay. I get it. You see how I am exposing the mainstream media? This came out their mouth. So which one is it? Oh, if it's something that you feel comfortable talking about, then it's okay if you happen not to be black. But if it's something that you don't feel comfortable with talking about and you happen not to be black, oh, well, athletes shouldn't talk about that kind of stuff. Okay. You see how I'm exposing them? This is easy work. Now, all last year, and even going into this year, well, LeBron James, I think he shouldn't talk about political issues, or he should just play basketball. He shouldn't talk about controversial issues. Then next thing oh, LeBron owes it to the black community. The potion. This is white people saying that. And I look at them like, who in the hell do you think you are? So that's what I mean. Make up your damn mind. Now, soon LeBron say, well, you know what? I did it. But at the same time, I'm not going to tell other people what to do with their body. It's their choice. Now, all of a sudden, oh, LeBron is wrong. He has an obligation. Well, don't LeBron James have an obligation to talk about police brutality and racism among blacks? Oh, I get it. And this is why people say that the NBA in sports is ran like a concentration camp, except these dudes or they consider it to a certain degree slavery, high-paid slavery, because you have people that want you to speak when they tell you to speak. And this is why, to a certain degree, that the media has been completely exposed, and I'm going to keep exposing the media. And I'm going to keep exposing media outlets like CNN, etc. I'm going to keep exposing them. Now, like I said, Stephen A. Smith had a hissy fit when Kevin Durant went to the Golden State Warriors. Now he's saying that he should have stayed. Which one is it, dude? Should he have came to the Warriors? Should he not have came to the Warriors? Should he, you know what I'm saying? I mean, for real. And then Stephen A. Smith trying to put this on Kyrie Irving, talking about Kevin Durant should feel betrayed and all this stuff. Now, I'm going to do a solo video about Kevin Durant. My honest opinion on Kevin Durant, my personal opinion, I'm not never going to tell an athlete where to go play sports at. I am a supporter of free agency. I had no problem with Kevin Durant coming to the Warriors. I had no problem with Kevin Durant leaving the Warriors. My own personal opinion, should he have stayed? Yes, he should have stayed. Kevin Durant could have won 4 championships with the Golden State Warriors playing alongside Stephen Curry. His legacy is intact. He's a first ballot Hall of Famer no matter what. But you had a lot of these idiots on YouTube, not just the media, but these content creators who was just mad because Kevin Durant wasn't playing on their team, saying it was a weak move and he took the easy way out. And like I said, take it however you want. Anybody that said that, you a fucking idiot. The Lakers team is full of borderline Hall of Famers, but nobody has a problem with who's playing with LeBron James. Carmelo Anthony, Russell Westbrook are surefire first ballot Hall of Famers. They playing on the Lakers. Nobody has a problem with who's playing with the Lakers. But then Kevin Durant going to the Warriors is the worst thing they ever saw. At the end of the day, nothing is guaranteed. Keep in mind, the Warriors won 73 games that following year leading up to Kevin Durant coming to the Golden State Warriors. They won 70. I'm in a great area, but this is what YouTube do. They messing with my streams though. But like I said, we gonna keep going. We gonna keep going. I'm not gonna let YouTube mess up my streams because I said a word. I said somebody's name that's very questionable with who. So now they checking me out. The whole thing with Kevin Durant going to the Warriors was fake outrage from the gate. Did the Warriors win that championship? They lost in the finals to the Cleveland Cavaliers. Now you can make an argument, you can speculate about what happened in the finals, but the Warriors ended up losing. They had won 73 games that year, and they did not win the finals. At the end of the day, all this stuff about Kevin Durant took the easy way out is baloney. And you had a lot of idiots saying that stuff. And I don't like to call them idiots, but they were full of it. Because at the end of the day, in the NBA, you don't get to make up your schedule. It's not like MLB. It's not like it's not like the NFL where you have to play every team at least once. Now I know they have interleague in baseball, but you're not guaranteed to play every team. They have interleague, but you're not guaranteed yearly to play every team. Okay? So stop it. In basketball, you have to play at least every team at least twice. You have to play all of the teams. Okay? So just stop it. The Warriors had to play 82 games like every other team. So your whole argument is debunked. Okay? They had to play all 82 games versus all 32 teams. And they had to win a certain amount of games to get into the play. Making it look like, well, if the Warriors win one game, they get it. Okay? 7 games like every other team. And out of those 7 games, you have to win 4 to advance. So that whole argument is debunked. It was complete baloney. You were just mad because Kevin Durant wasn't playing on your team. And at the time, you could make an argument that Kevin Durant was the best player not named LeBron James. And a lot of the envy came from mostly these LeBron stans because they knew that it was going to hurt LeBron's chance to win more championships so they could put him side to side with Michael Jordan. Because that's what this has been all about since LeBron James came into the league. Side by side, LeBron James, Michael Jordan. And Kevin Durant interfered with that. He offset it. And that's why a lot of these people were so angry because they knew LeBron James wasn't going to be able to beat that Golden State Warriors team with Kevin Durant on it. That's what this has been about all along. It wasn't about Kevin Durant going to the Warriors. It was about how many rings that Kevin Durant was going to prevent LeBron from winning. Oh, I know this basketball shit. I really do. And my takes is good. You know what I'm saying? That's for that. You know what I'm saying? That's for that Beetle looking nigga that came on my channel trying to disrespect my channel. That's what this was all about. It wasn't about Kevin Durant going to the Warriors. It was about how many rings he was going to prevent LeBron from getting. They knew he wasn't going to be able to beat those Warrior teams. That's why people was so angry. That's why they was calling it a weak move. Because they knew that team was stacked. And they already knew that the league kind of assisted LeBron James in winning that championship versus the Golden State Warriors by when they gave Draymond Green that bogus suspension, which stole the Warriors' momentum. At the end of the day, if they would have let destiny take its place and let the Warriors win that championship, then Kevin Durant probably don't go to the Warriors. But by the Warriors winning 73 games and losing the finals, well, it gave Kevin Durant a reason to go to the Warriors. So this was actually the league's doing and LeBron's doing. When LeBron James was sending out those cryptic messages talking about, well, I know they ain't gonna suspend him and Brian Big Horse. So actually it backfired on him. So LeBron was his own worst enemy. But this what this was all about with this Kevin Durant thing. And Kevin Durant should have stayed at Golden State. He had it made there. He shouldn't have let Draymond Green run him off. You Kevin Durant. You Kevin Durant, man. You arguably the best player in the league, not named LeBron James. You a league MVP. Okay? You a league MVP. Draymond Green can't even hold your, you know what I'm saying, for real. Draymond Green can't even wash and dry your uniform. And you let Draymond Green run you out for real. Now, if you want to talk about the weak move, that was the real weak move, letting Draymond Green cause you to leave the Warriors. Now you playing in Brooklyn with James Harden. Kyrie Irving is unavailable because of the GM. Remember, Brooklyn is doing this to themselves. Kyrie Irving could play road games. But then they try to, they trying these bully tactics. This is Brooklyn's fault. This is their fault. This isn't Kyrie Irving's fault. This is their fault. This is the GM's fault. This is the city of New York's fault. That's why that black mayor is looking at, well, we gonna have to figure something out. And to be honest with you, he can start something. If he does what I hope he does, he can trigger something that could help people in other places. It got to be a time sometimes where you can't be a puppet. You got to follow your own mind. But yeah, that's the reason why people were so upset about Kevin Durant going to the Warriors. It was never about him being weak and all that kind of stuff. It was about how many rings LeBron James was going to be minus. I can't read none of these. Hey man, I'm driving. I can't read none of these low comments. I am driving. So it's like I'm doing a video. I can't read none of these comments until I park. Trying to read the comments. Now, that's what this has been about all along. This is something that a lot of people have failed to mention. It was never about Kevin Durant. It was all about LeBron in the first place. People knew, well, Kevin Durant going to play with Stephen Curry, Klay Thompson, a stacked Warriors team. Yeah, LeBron, you ain't about to win no championships. And then keep in mind, while Kevin Durant was playing in Golden State, the media tried their best to drive a wedge between the Golden State Warriors. Whether it be Kevin Durant and Stephen Curry, about whose team it is, they tried their hardest about whether they wanted to come to the Bay Area to see games and how difficult it was to. I mean, they just came up with excuse after excuse. The media now, it was the media that they damn self that was encouraging Kevin Durant, saying that he should leave Golden State. So, like I said, they exposed all of them. I'm exposing these clowns because they're clowns. They are clowns. And everybody sees it now. They are 100% exposed. The truth hurts. That's why all these LeBron fanatics were crying about Kevin Durant going. They was like, well, LeBron ain't finna get no ring. And I'm going to tell you right now, LeBron ain't going to win no more rings. That Lakers team can't beat the Golden State Warriors. Not at full strength. That current Laker team is not built to beat the Golden State Warriors. And I've said this before, as long as Russell Westbrook is your starting point guard, you're not going to win nothing. It's been proven that you can't win with Russell Westbrook. I'm not defending Russell Westbrook, but I'm not attacking Russell Westbrook, but the truth is the truth. You just cannot win with Russell Westbrook. This is fact. This is fact. I know this NBA. I've been watching the NBA forever. And then it's something else that people just will not accept the truth or will not accept about LeBron James. Y'all do know LeBron James was born in 1984, right? Y'all do know LeBron James is approaching 40, right? Y'all do know y'all do know that, right? Why do y'all continue to think this is the same LeBron James from like 10 years ago that played for the Miami Heat? What part y'all don't understand that? Is it that difficult for y'all to believe that LeBron James is going to lose a step? To me, LeBron James, if he continues to play, he just playing for his stats. He playing to, surpass Kareem and become the all-time leading scorer. Which, if that's what he wants to do, that's his right. But I thought LeBron James was drafted to win championships, to be the heir apparent to Michael Jordan. And like I said, it's, you can make an argument about, is Michael Jordan the real GOAT? I think to a certain degree, I've said this and I stand by what I said about MJ. I saw Michael Jordan play. Of course, Michael Jordan was an exceptional basketball player. Yes, he is an all-time great. But the problem that I have is, like I've said on many occasions, you would think Michael Jordan did every damn thing. Y'all do know the team is called the Chicago Bulls, not the Chicago Jordans, right? You do know Michael Jordan played with 4 other people. Y'all do know that, right? That he had teammates. I think the problem is once again, yes, Michael Jordan, he revolutionized the sneaker game. He made it cool to wear sneakers on a regular basis and all that kind of stuff. Yes, Michael Jordan was a game. But the way people talk about him, you would think Michael Jordan played all 5 positions, and you would think Michael Jordan scored all the points. And I think that's the problem. Because some people were so mesmerized by Michael Jordan. Like I said, keep in mind, and Michael Jordan was a phenomenon. This was a dude that was 6'5.5", 6'6". That was a guard. that was dominating. Because we all know, for the most part, in basketball, most basketball was predicated around the big man. So Michael Jordan changed the game by being a guard and being dominant as he was. Even though the league adjusted, they changed the rules to help Michael Jordan become a better player and a better scorer. That's why they have what you call the Jordan rules. Yeah, I know this basketball. I know this basketball. I know this basketball very well. I don't have no problem. I know a lot of people, and I'm going to make this very clear. I don't have no problem with what Scottie Pippen is saying about Michael Jordan. Have no problem. Michael Jordan didn't win nothing till Scottie Pippen showed up. Michael Jordan played on losing teams until Scottie Pippen showed up. The reason why Scottie Pippen don't like Michael Jordan is because he was condescending about a lot of different things. Now, should Scottie Pippen had sent him his condolences when he lost his father? Absolutely. Completely wrong for that. And people keep talking about what happened with the last dance. The mistake Scottie Pippen made with the last dance, and I will continue to say this, you have to watch these people when they make these documentaries. You can negotiate where you can say, yes, I'm assigned on to do the project, but I also want it negotiated to where I see the final version of the project, which is called Final Cut. Happens all the time. Happens all the time in Hollywood. Happens all the time in movies. I give you an example. For those who didn't see the movies, Saturday Night Fever with John Travolta, one of the most pivotal scenes in the movie Saturday Night Fever was John Travolta having this big solo dance number, which I think was pivotal to the movie. Now, the original director's cut that they was going to put out in theaters, they cut that whole scene. John Travolta went to the producers. He went to Paramount. He said, put this scene back in. You have to have this scene. So they put that scene back in. And they put that in the final version. And he didn't even have Final Cut. So that's what Scottie Pippen could have did. Now that's where he messed up at. I'm not finna sit up here and make it look like Michael Jordan is a saint at his house playing playing touch football. Little too competitive. Michael Jordan wasn't like the stand-up guy that everybody make him out to be. There are several people that had unfriendly encounters with Michael Jordan, from rappers to other basketball players. Y'all heard what Bill Cartwright supposedly has said to Michael Jordan? So I'm just putting this all in perspective. All listening, y'all have no problem with what Scottie Pippen is doing. If y'all got a problem with what Scottie Pippen is doing, that's on y'all. But I'm not finna sit up here and just say Scottie Pippen is wrong. Michael Jordan did people wrong too. As far as the contract goes, Scottie Pippen needed money at the time. Jerry Reinsdorf, terrible person, took advantage of that situation. Jerry Cross took advantage of that situation. And that's just real talk. But anyway, it's guys like Stephen A. Smith and other people who have made Michael Jordan, to a certain degree bigger than God. Like I said, he did great things on the court. He revolutionized the guard position, revolutionized the shooting guard position. But let's stop pretending and act like Michael Jordan did everything by himself. They were called the Chicago Bulls, not the Chicago Jordans. And I think why people get irritated sometimes when you bring up Michael Jordan's name, and why other players get irritated. And I don't blame them. You have to understand, remember, when Michael Jordan got drafted, Michael Jordan wasn't even the best player in his draft class. Hakeem was the best player in that draft class. And that's why he went number 1. See, nobody wants to talk about that. He wasn't even the best player in it. Now, he went on to become arguably the greatest that ever played, but Michael Jordan was not the best player in that draft. It was Hakeem. Clearly, it was Hakeem. Well, I'm not worried about no trolls. I'm not worried about no trolls. Anybody that got a wrench, just get rid of them. Any trolls come on here, just clap. You have to admit, so but that's what this whole thing with LeBron James is about. It's always been about LeBron. That's why everybody was so irate with Kevin Durant joining the Golden State Warriors, because they knew LeBron wasn't winning no rings as long as Kevin Durant was playing for the Golden State Warriors. And that's why the media was attacking Kevin Durant, trying to bully him, trying to harass him about going to, you don't go to the team that beat you. Let me show you guys how absurd that sounds. And let me show you how also that's a fake narrative. What do you mean you don't go to the team that beat you? When you play basketball, it's not like you didn't been beat anyway. You mean to tell me there ain't never been a person that went to a team that they lost to in the playoffs or the finals? So Kevin Durant was the first person that ever did something like that? It was a fake narrative from the gate. And this is why you can't trust mainstream media. It was an agenda. That didn't make any kind of sense. You don't go to the team that you lost to. Well, eventually, in free agency, you go to a team that you lost to, whether it be in the playoffs, whether it be in the finals, whether it be constantly in the regular season. You will go to a team that you lost to. So that didn't make any kind of sense. And you had people really buying into that. And you had a lot of these idiots sitting up here making videos. See, one thing about me, I'm not no puppet. I don't follow no script. That's why a lot of people call themselves having attitudes with me behind the scenes, because they wanted me to tear down Terrence Crawford for the sake of Errol Spence. And that's why some of these dudes have issues with me, because I wasn't going to do it. And I wasn't going to split the black community in between Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence. And I wasn't finna shame people for being Terrence Crawford fans for the sake of bigging up Errol Spence. And a lot of dudes behind the scenes took issue with that. But I just want to tell you, I don't give a fuck. And I give a fuck about you having an attitude towards me. You don't want to talk to me, you got an issue with me, block me. Block my channel, block my number, whatever. You got an issue, you got an issue for real. That's what I did. Cut me off. But that's what that was all about. That didn't make, like I said, that didn't make any kind of sense. When you have people, oh, you don't go to the team that beat you. You go to wherever hell you want to go to. It's been did in every sport. It's been did in every sport. Jason Giambi left the A's to go to the Yankees. I don't think he won a ring, but he went to the team that he lost to. Well, why weren't people talking that crap then? Stephen A. Smith was working with ESPN then. Where was that? Why wasn't nobody saying that about Jason Giambi? So let's not try to make it look like this hasn't been done before. I mean, stop it. Real talk. You just gotta watch. You know what I'm saying? You just gotta watch the media, because the media, mainstream media, they have an agenda. They about pushing propaganda. And we all know it's been proven that they about pushing propaganda, because they've been pushing propaganda for the last year and a half. But that's what this was all about, ladies and gentlemen. It's never about Kevin Durant going to the Warriors. It was about how many rings LeBron was going to be denied. And now all of a sudden, because some of these people is upset with Kyrie Irving, now all of a sudden Kevin Durant should have stayed with the Warriors. But y'all was begging Kevin Durant. And then the sad part about it is, you had people saying that Kevin Durant should go play with LeBron in Los Angeles. What? But you had a problem with Stephen Curry playing with Kevin Durant. But you had people said that he should go play. You see this hypocrisy? You see how fake these people is? I play, you know what I'm saying? I pay very close attention to stuff. I pay very close attention to stuff. I remember, it's just certain things that I remember that just stay in my head. And that's just real talk. So it was the worst thing you ever seen. It was the worst thing you ever seen for Kevin Durant to go play with the Golden State Warriors, right? But then, oh, he should go play with LeBron. And I mean, people flip-flopped when that rumor was going out, and LeBron was kind of hitting. He wanted Kevin Durant to come play with him, and Kevin Durant quickly shot that down and said, "I ain't going to play with no LeBron." You gonna have to. I'll link up with you later. I'll leave my email, and you can contact me, and I'll show you how to do all that stuff. But so yeah, like I said before, you always see the hypocrisy that goes on. So Kevin Durant can't go play with the Warriors, but keep in mind, you heard them say Kevin Durant, Damian Lillard, they should go play with LeBron in Los Angeles. You would consider Damian Lillard an NBA superstar, right? So let me get this straight. Kevin Durant can't play with other superstars, but LeBron get to play with everybody and their mama. LeBron is arguably playing with 3 other, possibly 4 Hall of Fame players. Rondo is a borderline Hall of Famer. Anthony Davis will more than likely be a Hall of Famer. I don't know if he's first ballot. He's gonna be in there right now. I say right now he's in that 3rd or 2nd ballot. Carmelo Anthony, first ballot Hall of Famer. Russell Westbrook, first ballot Hall of Famer. LeBron James is a first ballot Hall of Famer. And then people try to use that excuse, well, you know, they're a little bit older. They pulled this same crap with Gary Payton and Karl Malone when they joined the Lakers. It wasn't no problem. But then before Carmelo Anthony joined the Lakers, people were saying, hey, Carmelo Anthony deserves a job. He still could play. So I don't want to hear this stuff about Carmelo Anthony is past his prime. You guys always change the narrative. The media always changes the narrative. LeBron is allowed to play with any and everybody. Don't y'all see how easily I'm exposing the lamestream media? It's easy. Stephen A. Smith exposed. Colin Cowherd. Them guys are exposed. That's why Stephen A. Smith ran from me. And I'm going to pull up on him again when I see him. I'm going to pull up on Stephen A. again when I see that dude. Got to. Yeah, exactly. LeBron James played, and that's another thing. Thank you for reminding me, Oakland, man. Shout out to the town, East Oakland, baby. Dubs on mines. Let's go back to LeBron's first run at a championship. LeBron went to Miami to go play alongside Dwayne Wade. Dwayne Wade in 2 seasons will be inducted into the NBA Hall of Fame. Chris Bosh. Everybody knows it was a travesty that Chris Bosh didn't get into the Hall of Fame on the first ballot. It was BS. He should have got in there on the first ballot. Okay? Stop it. He should have got in there on the first ballot. He went there his second year eligibility. But we all know Chris Bosh should have been a first ballot Hall of Famer. So that's what I'm saying. LeBron has a history of playing with first ballot Hall of Famers. Ray Allen, who basically saved LeBron, bailed him out. So like I said, it's okay for LeBron to go play alongside Hall of Famers, but Kevin Durant, that's the worst thing. That's why I'm trying to tell you it was all cap. And then people was trying to say, well, you know, they get free agency. They use every excuse in the book. These guys are full of crap. It wasn't no difference. It was the same thing. If four Hall of Famers are all playing on the same team, it doesn't matter whether they was drafted, they signed in free agency, via trade, whatever. It's the same thing. And then Stephen A. Smith tried to create his own narrative when people called him out on that. So LeBron been doing this. He's been doing this. Okay? Been doing this. Don't you remember? We gonna win. Not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5. Remember that? Remember that, y'all? Remember that? And then they first year, they got smoked by the great Dirk Nowitzki and the Dallas Mavericks, who, by the way, that team was an aging team that had some Hall of Famers on it. So like I said, you see how people change the narrative? You see how I'm exposing Stephen A. Smith as a fraud? He's a fraud. And he a fraud, and he an instigator. Oh, and Stephen A., I do know that you watch my channel. And I am going to pull up on your ass again. Not in a physical manner. But I am going to pull up on your ass again if I see you. If I see you on Saturday, I'm going to pull up on you. If you bring your ass to Las Vegas, which I think you will, I'm going to find you. Don't run this time. Don't run this time. Don't run this time. I know you watch my channel. I know you watch 2 Raw's channel. I know you watch 7H's channel. I know you watch Champ Size channel. You've been stealing from Ticket TV for the last X amount of years. So I'm just telling you, Stephen A. I'm going to pull up on you. No, you don't need no security. I ain't going to pull up on you in no physical. You not worth, you know what I'm saying? You ain't even worth it like that. Just keeping it a buck. But yeah, Stephen A. Smith is completely exposed. Completely. But anyway, thanks for tapping in, y'all. I'm out.